everybody, and welcome to Gene's Reviews. I'm just a regular dude, where I do movie reviews, trailer reactions, I react to YouTube videos, and I review YouTube channels. I'm doing one today from a channel I like called Criminally Listed, and this is Mothers Who Got Revenge. So, let me get my headphones on. And we'll check this one out right now.
Number 3, Kimberly Cunningham. In August 2003, Kimberly Cunningham, who lived in Blount County, Tennessee, learned some horrible news. A teenage nephew had sexually abused both her young son and daughter. The nephew was the son of Kimberly's sister's common-law husband, Coy Hunley. Kimberly filed a police report, and apparently, the family of the young man threatened to kill her. They supposedly told her that no one would ever find her body. In retaliation, Kimberly smashed out the windows of her nephew's car. She also bought a gun and got a permit to carry it with her. Despite the fact that Kimberly filed a police report about the abuse, the nephew was not arrested or charged with any crime. A few months after learning about the abuse, Kimberly's 14-year-old daughter, Amanda, was having some behavioral problems. Kimberly asked Amanda what was going on, and Amanda said that she had been sexually abused by someone else. Amanda said that 5 years earlier, when she was 9 years old, her uncle, Coy Hunley, sexually assaulted her on 2 occasions. After hearing the news that not only did Hunley's son abuse her children, but he did as well, Kimberly became irate. She sent her children off to school, and then she drove over to Hunley's workplace and yelled for him to come out to the parking lot. He came out and she told him that Amanda had accused him of sexually assaulting her. Kimberly was hoping that he would deny the allegations.
I heard about this and he laughed at her or something.
Instead, he laughed and said,
"Yeah.
What are you gonna do about it?" Kimberly pulled out her gun and fired 5 bullets at Hunley. He was hit multiple times and he fell to the ground. He tried crawling away from her, and as he did, Kimberly reloaded her gun and fired 5 more bullets.
Reloading the gun is where she made the mistake.
Got into her car and calmly drove away. An ambulance arrived a short time later, but it was too late to save Hunley. He had been shot 8 times, including 3 times in the head. 45 minutes after the shooting, Kimberly turned herself in at a police station. She was charged with first-degree murder. At her trial in April 2005, she was acquitted of first-degree murder, and the jury was deadlocked when it came to second-degree murder. The problem for the jurors was the fact that she reloaded her gun. One juror said that had she not reloaded it, she would have been acquitted. Kimberly went to trial again in October 2005, and she was found guilty of voluntary manslaughter. She was sentenced to 4 years in prison, and that was reduced to 6 months on appeal. Kimberly Cunningham passed away in June 2010 at the age of 38. Number 2.
Man, she died young. That sucks. I mean, I'm not condoning what she did and everything, but I think given the circumstances, pretty much anybody might have done the same thing. Especially being that he laughed at her like that. That would be enough right there to just send you off. It would me anyway. Let me know what you think.
Ellie Nessler. In the summer of 1988, 6-year-old William Nessler of Jamestown, California, went to a Christian summer camp. When he returned home, his family noticed that he was acting differently. He had behavioral problems, he was having difficulty in school, and he was having nightmares. The next year, William told a family member that while he was at the camp, he was sexually abused by the dishwasher at the camp, 30-year-old Mark Daniel Driver. The police talked to the other boys who attended the camp while Driver worked there. It turned out that between 1986 and 1989, he sexually abused 4 other boys. When the police went to arrest Driver, they found out that he had fled the area to whereabouts unknown. Just over 3 years later, Driver was arrested for shoplifting in Palo Alto, California, and he was sent back to Jamestown to face the charges. He went to trial in the spring of 1993. During his trial, it was revealed that in 1983, Driver had been convicted of sexually abusing 2 boys, and he served 5 months for the convictions. On April 2nd, William's mother, Ellie Nestler, was called to the stand to testify. Driver was shackled, and he was seated beside his lawyer. As Ellie walked towards the stand, she pulled out a .25 caliber handgun, and she shot Driver 5 times in the back of the head and the neck.
Wow.
She surrendered immediately. The shooting made headlines across the country, and it created a lot of debate. A lot of people thought that Ellie did the right thing. They even made bumper stickers and t-shirts that read, "Nice shooting, Ellie." Other people thought that by taking the laws into her own hands...
I'm not saying he didn't
Driver
deserve
in
it, though.
court
The son of a
was an
bitch
insult
deserved to
the
die as far as
American
I'm
justice
concerned.
system. In August 1993, Ellie went to trial using the defense of being temporarily insane. The district attorney argued that Ellie was sane and she knew exactly what she was doing when she shot Driver. The district attorney said that Ellie brought the gun to the courthouse with the sole purpose of killing Driver, and this showed that she had planned the murder in advance, so she was not temporarily
Yeah, he molested her son.
The district attorney
Allegedly.
also pointed out that Ellie was high on methamphetamines when she shot Driver. She was found not guilty of murder, but she was found guilty of voluntary manslaughter. She was sentenced to 10 years in prison, but that was appealed, and she served only 3 years. Ellie sold her story for $110,000 to a television producer, and in 1999, it was turned into the made-for-TV movie Judgment Day, the Ellie Nestler story. In July 2002, Ellie was arrested again. She was caught trying to buy 10,000 pills that are used to make methamphetamine. She was sentenced to 6 years in prison, and she ended up serving 4. Ellie passed away in December 2008 at the age of 56. She had been diagnosed with breast cancer in 1994. While Ellie was dealing with her legal problems and serving her prison sentence, her son William was sent to live with relatives. Starting when he was a teenager, William had 18 run-ins with the law. In 2004, William, who was 23, got into an argument with a man named David Davis over some tools. Davis called the police, and in front of several officers, William attacked Davis, punching him several times. William was arrested, and he was sentenced to 60 days in jail. He was released on July 25th, and the first thing he did after getting out of jail was drive to the trailer where Davis lived with his wife. William, who was 6'2" and weighed 230 pounds, broke into the trailer and found Davis asleep in bed. William pulled Davis, who was much smaller than him, out of the trailer. Davis was 45 years old, and he had mobility problems because of a spinal injury. He tried to run away from William, but he tripped. As Davis begged William not to hurt him, William stomped on his head. Davis died the next day in the hospital. In June 2005, William Nestler was sentenced to 25 years to life. Number 1.
Wow, I'm not sure whose side I'm on in that one. That's kind of messed up. Man, what a screwed up family.
I guess in their defense, though, it all started with their son being molested. It just sucks all the way around.
Maria del Carmen Garcia. In 1998, Antonio Cosme, who lived in the small town of Benejúzar, Spain, was convicted of sexually assaulting Maria del Carmen Garcia's 13-year-old daughter, Veronica. He was sentenced to 9 years in prison. 7 years later, on June 13, 2005, Maria was at a bus stop waiting for her bus. She was shocked when Cosme, who was 62, walked by her. He had been released from prison on a 3-day parole. When he walked by Maria, he said, "How is your daughter?" Maria said that something in her brain snapped.
Yeah?
She watched Cosme walk away and then enter a bar. A short time later, Maria walked into the bar. She walked up behind Cosme, who was drinking coffee. She put her hand on his shoulder, and he turned around to face her. Maria was carrying a bottle, and when Cosme turned around, she poured some liquid out of the bottle onto him. Based on the smell, other people in the bar could immediately tell it was gasoline. Maria then lit a match and threw it on Cosme. After setting her daughter's attacker on fire, Maria ran out of the bar. Cosme was rushed to the hospital. He had burns on over 60% of his body.
Wow.
Maria was arrested that night. Cosme lived for 11 days before he succumbed to his injuries. Maria was originally sentenced to 9.5 years in prison, but she appealed, and her sentence was reduced to 5.5 years. After serving 3.5 years, she was released on day parole. That meant she could leave the prison during the day, but had to spend her nights there. Maria says that she wishes that she never killed Cosme, but she also wishes that he had never sexually assaulted her daughter.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for...
Wow. Well, if he really did do all that, and just that, how's your daughter, all that shit, he deserved to suffer, like I'm sure he did. Going for 11 days after being set on fire before he actually died. Whew. Okay. Let's move on to the joke of the day. You know, throwing acid is wrong in some people's eyes. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, hashtag Mean Gene, all that fun stuff. And I will see you next time.